My Hebrew brothers and sisters, 12 tribes of Israel, scattered all over the globe, welcome back. This is your Moreh, Yeshua Ben Uriah Israel, and I just want to continue to thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. Most of all, let me say thank you for your prayers. We're in the book of Proverbs, if you're just joining us. And we're in chapter 3, Proverbs chapter 3, verses 11 and 12. And we are dealing with more advice, more advice. That's the title of this message and the previous videos. I think we've gone part 8. And we started at the verses 11 and 12, but we have not completed it. So we're going to go back and just give you some more information as we try to break down what the word means and, you know, how we are to make ourselves available to do what Yahuwah said in his word. This is what he said. He said, "My son, despise not the chastening of Yahuwah, neither be weary of his correction." And he said, verse 12, he said, "For whom Yahuwah loveth, he correcteth, even as the father the son, in whom he delighteth." So we've been going through, and we talk about the last session. We talk about the word chastening, and we say that the Hebrew word is musar, and the word is made up of 4 Hebrew letters: Mem, Yod, Vav, and Resh, meaning to reprove, meaning warning or instruction, also restraint, correction, discipline, or rebuke. The next word, he said, don't be weary, right? Don't be weary. Look again. He said, do not be weary. He said, "My son, despise not chastening of Yahuwah, neither be weary." Neither be weary of his correction. The word weary here is the Hebrew word kutz, and it is kaf, vav, and sedi. The sedi here is the final. You have sedi, the word, the letters, right? You have the beginning where you can use to form a word, or you have the ending of a word. And this sedi here, this is the ending of the ending of it, the final of that word. Okay, so he said here that it have the idea of severing oneself from, like, here you are with someone, and the person is telling you something, and you get to the point where you get weary. You don't want to hear anymore. Okay? So you try to sever yourself, from the person. You try to sever yourself from the person. You get real disgusted. Okay? You get real disgusted. and to a point sometimes you get anxious, and you get to a point where you feel like you're distressed, you grieve, you're very wary about the person or about what the person is trying to tell you. Well, according to what he's saying here, is that to be wary when Yahuwah is correcting us. We need not to get to the point where we feel like, well, we just want to sever ourselves. Because you know what, my brothers and sisters? If Yahuwah is telling us to do something, He's instructing us, and He knows what is good for us. He knows what is right, what is proper. He knows what is beneficial for us. We do not need to get to the point where we get weary, tired of hearing it. Oh, I've been hearing this all the time. That kind of attitude. No, we don't want to do that. Right? We don't want to get anxious. We don't want to get disgusted or get to a place where we are, we are distressed. This distressful mood. We don't want to get to that point. Anytime we get to that point, my brothers and my sisters, it means that we do not have fellowship with Yahuwah. If we have a relationship with Him and we have fellowship with Him, when we hear His word, now let me say this. I want to hear me clearly. If I sit here and tell you that every time I pick up the word to read it, that I'm always feeling up to it, no, sometimes I feel tired. And when you feel tired at a moment, if you can't read it, you can't maintain, you cannot retain anything that you read. You just stop and go get some rest. But when you get to the point where you get disgusted, you don't want to hear anything that the teacher is telling you, something good, what the prophet is saying, what the ministers, the pastors, that is called by Yahuwah, is trying to tell you, to instruct you into doing and going the way that Yahuwah wants to go. When you get to that point where you get disgusted, something is wrong. And we need to get ourselves right. Okay? So then, we don't want to sever ourselves from Him. We don't want to get disgusted that we don't want to hear. We don't want to get anxious. We don't want to get in a distressful mode. And we don't want to get, grieved, very weary. We don't want to get to that point. Okay? All right. Look in the next verse, correction. In verse 11, look in the correction there. Because this word here is to-ke-ka. To-ke-ka, that's the word, the Hebrew word, to-ke-ka. Tav, vav, kaf, chet, and he. And this word means chastisement, means correction. It means refutations. It means rebuke. It means reproof. It means reproved. So he said we are not to be weary in Yahuwah's correction. The word correction here. Okay, so look down with me in verse 12. Look in verse 12. Okay. Look at this, he who he loveth, he who Yahuwah loveth, he correcteth, even as a father in his son in whom he delight, right? So look at the word love there, because the word love is also ahab. Ahab is like Ahab is the Hebrew word Ahab, and it's Aleph, He, and Bet, and this word, that's the letters, the Hebrew letters that make up this word, and it means to have an affection. So Yahuwah loveth us. You see, here the Hebrew word for love, ahab. Okay, the same Hebrew word here, okay, is showing the love of Yahuwah towards a person who he loves us, right? And he has a special affection towards us as his children. In the Greek, the word love is you have in several forms. Okay, you have agape. Agape, that it means the love to the highest extreme. Okay, to the highest extent, love. Yahuwah love. Okay, and in the Greek, you have agapetos, agapeo, the different form of that love. Okay, and in different tense. Okay, here in the Hebrew, it just give you this love here that Yahweh has for us is a special affection, okay? Special affection. And, this is where he loves us, deeply loves us. He loves us. And, sometimes this is the same love he has for our great-grandfather Abraham or Abraham. Remember, he said, greater love, no man than this, than the man who he laid down his life for his friend. So Yahuwah sent his son, and the love that he has, that great love for Yahuwah, so loved the world, the Hebrew people, scattered all over the world, that he gave his only begotten son, Yeshua. So then, this love is the deep affection, is affectionate love that Yahweh has for us. Right? Right. So, look at the word. Look at the word again. Look at the word again. He said, my son, despise not the chastening of Yahweh, neither be weary of his correction. Okay? For whom he loveth, this great affection, he corrected. Look at the word correct here, because the word corrected here is Yah-Kah. Yah-Kah, Hebrew words, Yah-Kah. Okay? Yod, Kaf, and Chet. Those are the three Hebrew letters that make up this word. Yah-Kah. And it means to be right. It means to be right. To decide, to justify. Corrective. Okay? To convict. To rebuke. To reprove. When he loves us, he corrects us. And the word delight here, my brothers and my sisters, we'll have to take it up a little more, but the word delight here is the word ratsa, ratsa, and it means that Yahuwah is pleased with us. It means to accept or to approve or to delight in. The time is gone, my brothers and my sisters. And I'm going to ask you to be a blessing to someone today and then walk with the King. Shalom.